Hello, guys. How are you? I love these. Living in my pink. In my pink. I feel like a princess today. This chivalry. I don't even know how to pronounce this word. Still exists in the way. Okay, let me word it this way. Last night we had the liquor tuck. Na, 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 na. That song is stuck in my head. Wait, let me see if I can find the lyrics to it. How are you guys? Did you guys watch UFC match? When was it? Yesterday? I think maybe yesterday. Yeah, because I just saw pictures of President-elect Donald Trump, Dana, I think that's the UFC boss, RFK. Who else did I see? Quite a number of people, yeah, at MSG for the fight. Ah, they went in to watch the fight. Okay, let me see. I'm trying to see if I can sing along to this song. Last night we let the liquor talk. I can't remember everything we said, but we said it all. You told me that you wish I was somebody you never met. But baby, baby, something's telling me this ain't over yet. No way, it was the last night. Hi, you look amazing today. Thank you, Mark. How are you? How are you today? Thanks, guys. Come on in as you like this live and please subscribe. So, I want to talk about chivalry. I don't know if I pronounce it right. Let me see. Let me see what Google says. Chivalry, pronunciation. Pronunciation. So, there's this story that I saw on Instagram about a lady who was complaining. I think she's in the entertainment circle. But she was complaining about a situation where a gentleman was asking a gentleman that she was talking to. So when you say talking to, I guess like maybe this is the initial stages of dating. So she was talking to this person, and the person wanted her to fly out to the city that he's in because both of them stay in different states. But the lady was like, oh, like, he's asking me to go all the way to him, but he's not paying for my flights. Just a second. Thank you. Yeah. So she was complaining, and she was like, I don't know if it was complaining or lamenting, but she didn't look happy with the whole situation. And she was like, the guy expects me to pay for my flights to go and see him. Yeah, and so she was like sort of insinuating, because I didn't watch the video in its entirety, to be honest. Yeah, and I don't want to misquote anyone. Thanks for the like. Keep on liking and subscribing. Thank you, guys. Yeah, so basically she wasn't happy that she would have to pay for her flight to go and see this gentleman. And there were a lot of discussions, regarding this. So many people talked about it, just giving their opinions and stuff like that. I have come to find out that in the United States, you could actually get in trouble for flying out someone. When I say flying out, I mean, like paying for someone to move across state lines. So if you move from one state to another, that's considered moving across state lines. So say, for example, if this gentleman paid for her to come to him, okay, like paid for her travel both ways or even just one way, in case anything comes up, or the girl claims that something was done to her against her will or stuff like that, then the so-called gentleman would be in trouble with the feds, because it is considered a crime moving someone across state lines. And then if something happens to that person, woo, then you're in trouble. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's very interesting. Because where I come from in Kenya, I do not know. Because Kenya, we don't really have big states like the US. We have counties. So a little bit smaller in terms of area, geographical area, and even population. So I would have to go and read about it and see what the Kenyan law says about that, if someone is to move from one city to another. But here in the US, it is against the law to move someone across state lines, and then something happens to them. Let's say the person says, you're trying to probably engage in certain acts without their consent or against their will, then you get in trouble. Yeah. So many people were like, oh, there was a number of people who were saying, maybe the gentleman didn't want to pay because, he doesn't want to get into trouble with the government. Um, Cliff Lipscomb. Hello, I wanted to share a friendly thought. You're a stunningly beautiful woman, radiating elegant style and grace, a true queen in every sense. Oh, Cliff, thank you so much. Thank you for the kind words. Yeah, so yeah, people had so many thoughts on this particular situation. And then other people felt like, why can't you pay for your flight? Does it mean that the man has to pay for everything? Other guys were like, oh, it's so hard dating nowadays. Men have to literally pay for everything. Hi, JP, how are you? Yeah. So just interesting stuff going on. Yeah, and I felt like, let's come and talk about it. you know uh Obviously, I'm not in the dating world anymore, but we can still talk about stuff. uh and yeah, I just found it very interesting. So do you think that a man should pay for everything, when especially when you're dating? And most especially, is that even correct, grammatically correct, anyway? But especially when you're at the beginning of the relationship, when everything is fresh and new and you guys are just starting to... Steve, you said no. Why no? No, what happened to, is it chivalry? I want to pronounce it right. Let me see how Google pronunciation. Okay. Chivalry. Okay, I'm doing well. Chivalry. So do you think because we are just dating? Okay. All right. I see. Yeah. So the expectation, I'll share, like what happens in Kenya. And I'm not saying that this is what happens in all situations. Of course, there are women who are happy to pay, for dates or just carry their own weights. Yeah. Because as we know, women are like independent, quote unquote. Though for me, I just love to rest in my feminine energy. Yeah, I would love to contribute, but I don't want to be the one carrying the whole weight. But that's you pay your way and I will pay for my way. I think, Steve, you do well in, is it Netherlands? Yeah. That's where they say, oh, let's go Dutch. So when someone says that, it basically means you split everything in half. 50-50. Ah, okay, you like that. But I think, don't you think that's oh, Korean, so okay. Don't you think like in the olden days, is it the olden days? Yeah, but in years back, men were like, paying for everything, like quote unquote spoiling the ladies. Do you think that this is what would happen then? So in Kenya, what happens? The expectation is that the man will pay for everything. And I can imagine how that would be very, very difficult for a young man who's trying to date or to enter the dating scene. Yeah. Oh, that's the old tradition. Yeah. Good smile from Korea. So, oh, thank you. Yeah. So I think so that's the expectation in Kenya. Like you ask a girl out for a date, she is expecting that you will cover everything from transportation from her place to where you guys are planning to meet. So it's either you pick her from her place if she's comfortable with that, or others would prefer to come meet you, especially if you're meeting someone for the first time. You want to make sure you're safe, and this is very important if you don't know the person, if maybe you've just met online, or whatever the circumstance is. So you want to make sure you're good, yeah, because sometimes there's some crazies out here. Yeah, so basically she would expect you to like pay for her transportation, and maybe this is in like maybe pay for her gas if she's driving. Oh, you just subscribed, thank you, Steve, thank you. For her gas, or maybe you give her Uber money, and then you pay for the entire bill, like you cover the cost of the entire date. And then when she's leaving, you make sure she gets home safe. Plus, others will also expect that you give them some money, like extra money, like go do your nails or something, go do your hair or something. I know. It happens. And unfortunately, I think it still happens. And the reason I say unfortunately is that I don't think that all men are able to provide in that way. And so, wait, what? Yes, I'm not even kidding, Steve. That is what happens. And I just don't think that it's fair for all the men, because maybe there are good men out there who really want to date and want to meet, the love of their life. But then they face all these hurdles during dating. So how do you do it? And what do the man get in return? I don't know. So that is between the two parties. Um, the problem with this kind of thinking is that some men automatically expect that, okay, so if I'm doing all you're like, if I'm doing all these things, yeah, let's just be real here. Some men expect like, oh, so I'm doing all these things for you, so what am I getting in return? For me, that seems so transactional. And I don't like it. I don't like it that way. It feels like, okay, like quid pro quo. Like I give you this and then you give me that. Like, what are we doing at that point? I feel like at that point, is it really dating, or is it that so long as you keep doing this, then I'll keep doing that? Yeah, so that's sort of the disadvantage if you take that approach. Yeah, there are other men who will do all these things, and they don't really expect anything in return, or they don't present themselves as they expect anything in return. Maybe they do. I'm not going to speak for people because you don't know what goes on in people's minds, but maybe that's their expectation, but they don't really present themselves that way, or they don't voice out their concerns in that way. Yeah, but for the most part, especially Kenya, and I would say probably Africa, majority of girls and young women out there dating, expect that the man will take care of everything. First date, take care of everything that I mentioned. Second date, now it advances, it reaches a point now, oh, I need to do my hair, the man pays for it. Oh, I need to, go do my nails at the salon, the man pays for it. Oh, something happened. And then the funny one that that we joke about a lot is like emergencies, right? Someone calls and like, oh my gosh, I have an emergency, something happened. um my grandma in the village, she's so sick, so sick, so would you please help? And boom. So I think when it goes that way, then mm, I don't know. If the man is able and willing to do it like without being pressured, then that's fine. That's beautiful, That's a man who wants to take care of his woman. But if it reaches a point that you can feel that the person is struggling, but you still, put the pressure on, then I can see why men start pulling away and are like, I'm good on that. Yeah. So do I think like chivalry should exist? I think so. I think it is beautiful to see a man take care of his woman. It is beautiful to see a man, step up and want to like just be the provider, the protector, but we also have to live with the realities of what the world is at this point, to be honest, because in the world that we live in now, it is very unlikely that, especially if you're living together, that you will survive on only one income. Well, unless your man or your husband or wherever is a millionaire who is willing to spend, because it doesn't mean that if you have the money, then you're just willing to like just spend all your money like that. No, yeah. So in most households or most living situations, you'll find that both parties, contribute to the household. Yeah. And they contribute in different ways. Men will still carry more weight financially. There are women who nowadays bring in a lot more money than some men. And if that balance works for the couple, I mean, why not? Yeah. So what I would say, for me, what I think I would say is that if the situation works for both of you, fine. Like if both of you are comfortable and happy doing it, that's fine. But if one party is disgruntled, then there's no beauty in that. What do you guys think? Those are just my thoughts. Yeah. I feel like if one party feels like he or she is being used, like you're only good for your money, or you're only good for what you bring in financially, then I think that's a problem. Yeah. Those are like cracks that you don't wanna, see in a relationship, especially early on. If that's the foundation that you're building on, then it's gonna be shaky. Shaky, 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 shaky. Yeah, it's a crazy world out there. And it was refreshing, to be honest, to see that there were people who were like seeing different points of views, like different sides. There are people who are like with the girl, like, yeah, the guy has to pay for everything. But there were others who are like, oh, you just met this person, you know. I mean, you're looking to be in a relationship, so why should he pay for your flight, Yeah. So unless maybe you're jobless and you don't have money and you're really on hard times and you truly, truly cannot afford to, then yeah, I think you can find a way to communicate that to the person. Yeah, you could be like, you really want to come, but you're just not able to afford to do so. But to just expect and to feel entitled and to be like, why don't you pay for my flight? You're supposed to pay for my flight. Oh, if you don't pay for my flight, I'm not coming. I'm like, and that's like the first time. Like, at least get yourself to the destination, girl. But I know when you see online, when you go online, you'll get a lot of just a lot of people advising young ladies and stuff like that. What I would say for me, I don't want to like just come out and say, okay, that this is what you need to do and this is what you need to do, because I believe as adults, we have, if you have a good head on your shoulders, you're able to like just decipher and see what works for you. Because in this life, it's not one size fits all. I don't care what anybody says. It's not one size fits all. We are all different. Everyone is unique. We have different experiences. We have different ideologies. We come from different backgrounds. So you can't just say, oh, because this worked for me, so you should do the same thing. Yeah, I find that very dishonest, to be honest. Yeah, if it worked for me, then it doesn't mean that it's gonna work for you in the same way. Yeah. And that's why I just don't pay much attention to these master classes. Yeah. Like, oh, let me teach you, 5 tips to like getting the perfect date, 5 tips to like for if you do these things, your marriage will be amazing, you will flourish. I'm like, hold up, hold on, wait a minute. Because people will not be willing to tell you, you know, the difficulties or the challenges that they went through. And even if they do, I feel like, that's just my opinion, I feel like they don't tell you in its entirety, or they don't present the case to you in a way that would help you really figure out what was going on in that situation. Because let's face it, right? Everyone always wants to look good. True or talk to me, guys, in the comment section, in the chat. Let me know. Or am I just, going off the handle here? But what I'm trying to say is that you can listen to all the information, and right now on social media there's a lot of noise, a lot of noise. People talk, hi Frederick, how are you? People talk, people say stuff, and there are so many experts. I know they're the real experts, but social media has a lot of experts. All you have to do is come on here and say, guys, you won't believe this. These are 5 things that, if you do these 5 things in the way that I, explain it to you, or, if you follow these steps, oh my gosh, your life will be amazing. You will get Prince Charming. Your knight in shining armor will just come from nowhere. And mm-mm. Social media is full of weirdos. Yes, I agree. I agree. And that's why, out of all the noise and everything, you have to, first of all, you have to know who you are. You know yourself. Be grounded in who you are. Don't be swayed easily. It's good to listen to information. It's good to take in stuff. But at the end of the day, please do what is best for you. I see a lot of relationship gurus, as they call themselves out here, that say, oh, if he doesn't call you for, he hasn't texted you for, like, he hasn't sent you a text, because that word text, sometimes they're like, is it text or texted or whatever. But if you're dating, if you're in the early stages of dating, and he hasn't sent you a text in like 5 or 6 hours, block him. Ah, I'm like, are you for real right now? Like, who would even say something like that? Block a person just like that? Nah, nah. So it could work for others, but it might not work for others. So you just want to be careful, because at the end of the day, when all is said and done, when you're alone in your room or in your home or just by yourself, yourself and your thoughts, you know what is best for you, you know what you want for yourself. So it's good to take in advice and stuff like that. We all need to hear other voices, but please, 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 when you're deciding, make sure that it is in your best interest. Yeah, so don't do it to please people. Don't do it to be like, oh my gosh, what do people expect of me? Oh my gosh. Yeah. And I have to admit, for a long time, I would live life that way, you know. And I can't really pin it to maybe my upbringing or just my experiences in life. But there's always this tendency of wanting to like please people or prove yourself to people and do things because, oh, that's what is expected of me. You know, let me do this, let me do that. The day it just clicked, you know, in my head, and I was like, this is my life, you know. I am the one who knows me. I spend all this time with me. I know that sounds crazy, but just stay with me here for a minute. Yeah, like I know me. I know what makes me happy. I know what makes me sad. I know what, you know, so why should I strive to like please people? And I would have a hard time saying no. But nowadays, I do not. Yeah. Does not life experiences teach us more than others? Yeah, I agree, Frederick. Yeah. And I also agree that we can also still learn from other people because I don't ever want to be in that situation where I think like, oh, I know it all or stuff like that. Yeah. That's why I listen to people, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to do as they say. But you're right. Yeah. Life experience, that is the best teacher. You look beautiful. Thank you. That's the best teacher. Like, experience is the best teacher. Yeah. So, yeah, the day you realize that you don't have to please folks, that you don't have to do things to live up to a certain expectation, the day you realize that no one has your back more than you know, that is the day you start just living life for you. Yeah. Uh, oh, Frederick, I'm from Kenya. I'm from Kenya. Yeah. So that way, the day you realize that, oh my goodness, you know, how about I start living my life for me? How about I start doing me, you know? That's the day I feel like you truly, truly start um living life to the fullest, I would say, you know, for lack of a better word. Like you just start seeing life differently. And that's when you start pursuing all these interests and all these things that you really want to do for yourself. Like I know, I don't know if it still happens now in Kenya, but there's always a lot of pressure on kids growing up, you know, to live up to their parents' expectations. And parents want the best for their kids, you know. I don't think there's any parents who would not want their kids to thrive and excel and stuff like that. But sometimes, you know, kids also have their own dreams. They want to, you know, do things, you know, for themselves. And I agree, as young kids, we still need the guidance and the love of our parents. But once we are adults, like young adults and stuff like that, you know, you have your own way of life and you want to do things your own way. And sometimes all these expectations, like, sort of hold us, you know, and prevent us from blossoming. Yeah. Ah, beautiful morning from Texas. Hey, MC Magic, how are you? No one has your back more than God. He has your back more than you. Amen. I agree. Yeah. Hello, at the Heckmans. Do you remember me, the Xify? Virtual. I remember the name Virtual, but it was Virtual something. Yeah. I don't know if you changed your name. I don't know if you changed your name. Yeah. It doesn't come to memory immediately. So, yeah. Welcome back, though. Welcome back. Hi, Frank Johnson. How are you? Guys, please, if you're new here, you're most welcome. And thank you for all my subscribers who keep coming back to hang out with me. Thank you for your love. Please subscribe to the channel. Yeah, and thanks for the likes. Do you guys have any questions? Any thoughts? Any comments? No, nobody, nobody. Explain the writing on the board, please. So it's just a saying that I came across. It says, "Not all who wander are lost." I can't for the life of me remember who wrote that. But yeah, like not all who wander are lost. The way I interpret it is it's like sometimes that's just my interpretation. Yeah, sometimes in life, before you find yourself, you might wander, just move in different directions, and you really don't know where that's taking you. It doesn't mean that you're lost, it means that you're just finding yourself. That's what I interpret it as. And also for wanderlusters, people who like traveling and stuff like that. Yeah, so you could go maybe to a new place or somewhere and you think, oh my gosh, I'm lost. And ooh, lo and behold, you walk into, a hidden gem or something like that. So that's my interpretation, Frederick. Yeah. That is my interpretation of the writing. I need to change it. There are many people who are like, please change it, please change it. My husband included. I just haven't, brought myself to doing that yet. All right, guys, you guys have been amazing. So does chivalry still exist? I think it still does, but maybe not in the way that it did years back, Um, and for the young girls, this is my unsolicited advice. Again, you don't have to take it. But go easy, especially on the dates. Don't overwhelm the person. Lo and behold, you strike gold. Yes. Like you never know. You never know. Yeah. All right, guys, it's been amazing spending time with you guys. You guys have been absolutely amazing. I wish you a blessed Sunday for those going to church or your places of worship. And yeah, just have a blessed day. I hope you get to spend time with your family, spend time doing what you love, because time waits for no man. And that is a true statement. Okay, and as I always say, please be a kind human. I strive to do that all the time. It doesn't cost a thing, and the world could use, oh my gosh, the world could use more and more and more kindness. Yeah, it's already tough out here. Okay, bye guys. I'll see you guys today, hopefully at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. So that's why you want to subscribe and click on the notification bell, and that way you're notified every time I'm live. Thank you and have a good one. Bye.